Oh, perfect. Okay. So we had a Metagross lead again.
It's interesting.
I don't think Conkeldurr is very good against hacks because you
It's
outpace
pretty
it.
slow. I think I can shield the farm down here.
Yeah. I don't know if you'll be able to farm all the way down, but you can at least get. Oh, it's going to be close. It would be very close. I think shielding Conkeldurr is always a good idea. He's no bait moves, right? He's just all power.
Yeah.
Yeah, in hindsight, the farm down would be very risky because the counters are adding up against your Haxorus too. I didn't realize how low you were. Oh.
Oh, he can shield the farm down now. Oh no.
Oh, I thought that was gonna happen. I thought I saw the like his animation kind of stall, and that's usually when it's a CMP tie. That's perfect for you.
What do you think he's got at the back then?
I'm not sure, but I think Metagross uses the energy better.
Okay, listen. Good catch, Oh, it's an earthquake as well.
Oh! Okay, well, you know he's not baiting anymore then, at least. Like, he could bait with an outrage, which is not worth it, but...
I wouldn't know.
Yeah, there's no way he's running Sand Tomb Earthquake, right? That would be a bit too nuts. He did bait with an outrage.
Really? Should be able to farm down. Oh, Metagross shouldn't have a charge move. Should it?
No, it just threw. It shouldn't. But this is going to be very close. Oh, okay.
I think he had it then.
He just got to a Meteor Mash there. So, whew, we'll just say that one was calculated, right? Perfect farm down. Holy cow, that was a good... See, that was a revenge for the opponents catching a couple of your charge moves, right?
Yeah,
Catch that one right there. That was huge, actually, catching the Earthquake.
I would have lost that then, wouldn't I?
You would have lost it for sure if because you probably wouldn't have shielded either, right? On the Metagross. Like usually you don't shield the first Sand Tomb, right? It's more value to shield the later one if you're gonna shield it all, right? So that was a really good catch. Ooh, classic Magnezone lead. I feel like all the Steel type leads are finally coming back just because of all this Togekiss.
So I've lost the past 2 times.
Yeah.
So I need to play better this one.
Yeah, I think you got it this time.
And they always shoot the first, so maybe it's plus 8.
Yeah, just watch the catch. Because they've been doing that on the Magnezone. Like, who's counting Ice Fangs, though? Like, these guys are counting Ice Fangs. That's crazy. I don't know the count for Ice Fang.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't even know the count for, what do you call it? For Charms earlier. I thought it was 9 for some reason. I guess I took the average in my head. That was good. Getting that bait off is huge. I would go for Earth Power here. Just guaranteed 2 shields down.
He must have Togekiss again. At some point. Even Dragon Knight.
Yeah.
Should I switch out here and bait out the Dragon? Oh, Toby.
Oh, no need.
Maybe I should have switched out.
No, that was good, I think.
Yeah, I could tell.
He might switch here. Oh, what is he doing? Yeah. No, I think that was good. I think, yeah, because generally, like from watching you, I think you're generally pretty switch averse. A lot of the time, you like to stay in matchups where I would switch out. So when you were
Yeah.
thinking about swapping out of the hippo, I was like, oh my god, this is the first time ever. I think that we are like on that opposite side of the thing where I'm like, no, stay in, and you're like, I'm gonna switch out because I think with hippo there, you got switch advantage and you got shield
Yeah.
advantage, both with hippo, right? So at that point, um, with Hax and Metagross, like I don't really know what other Pokemon with Waterfall Gyarados can even beat you there with 2 shields up. Because
Yeah,
Hax
makes
deals
sense.
really well
Yeah.
with it. Like the only way you might lose that is if that guy's running Outrage again, right? Okay, so this seems to be like a very common team though. Magnezone, Waterfall, Gyarados, and Togekiss. That's the third time we've seen it, right? All 3 Magnezone leads have been that. So interesting to keep in mind, I guess, in the future. I don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
wouldn't
wonder.
have stayed in because you're right.
Yeah, because you just had such an advantage. I think that the only way you could even think about losing that is by swapping out. Nice.
Guess I'll switch out this time.
Yeah. Although I will say that was a bit what Waterfall Gyarados. Okay. I will say that was a bit ballsy though because you didn't check if it was Mud Slap or not.
Oh yeah, yeah, they went straight to it.
Yeah. Because if it was Mud Slap, I don't know if I would swap right away just because Metagross doesn't do so hot against it. So then staying in for a bit and maybe trying to catch the surf might be a better play. But because it's SmackDown, I think that's the perfect play.
I shield it.
Yeah,
I think I do.
Yeah, you can. It's Aqua Tail. Because you grabbed a shield already, right? So
Yeah.
it doesn't feel too bad. Although I do think, well, I'll talk about, well, I might as well say it now since, yeah, so, well, he really wants switch advantage. So something is not good against, I might even shield this. You can let it through too, it's fine either way.
Well, the Metagross then.
Yeah. Sounds good.
Should I not shield this?
Probably not.
Found again. Can you get to one more way? You can.
It's close. Yeah, you have to shield.
So he's got Rhyperior in his box. Hope it's Togekiss.
It's Garchomp. That's what I thought it was gonna be, or Dragonite.
Should I switch out?
Yeah, I might.
I'm saving a meteor match.
You have a meteor match still?
Yeah.
Okay.
Got two. So, can I get to a nerve power here? Was it not worth the risk?
I think it's worth it. Because Garchomp can't farm you down. Sorry, I've been commenting a lot. I should take more of a back seat until until game's over at least for my thoughts.
It's hard not to comment, isn't it?
Yeah, I know. Watching, you're like, ah. But,
okay, I've got this.
oh, yeah, outrage too.
That's a bit overkill there. I could have found down.
Yeah, I didn't know you had that meteor mash stored because when you have 2, it looks like you have 1, I guess, because you can't see the line. Yeah. I was like, oh my god. Okay, so I will say about this game would have been a lot easier if you double shielded Hax. So I know Master Premier and your team is a lot about shields as well, but the fact that he double shielded Haxorus with his like Waterfall Gyarados meant that switch advantage was really, really, really important to him. Like he wouldn't do that unless his team was because he at that point has knowledge of 2 Pokemon on your team, Haxorus and Hippowdon. So he's like the only reason he would ever 2-shield his switch Pokemon is because his Pokemon in the back cannot deal with Hippowdon at all. Like, it's because Rhyperior can kind of do it, right? Like we saw in that first match, Surf does quite a bit of damage. But so that means he probably has something in the back that absolutely cannot afford to be matched up with Hippowdon. So at that point, it's probably Dragonite or Garchomp. So taking the double shield there just to line up your Metagross against their Rhyperior and your Hippowdon against something, because you know they have Rhyperior and your Metagross dominates it, and then you know they have something that your Hippowdon dominates as well. So even just spending 2 shields for that switch advantage, I think is fine too. And I think that would have made just because your team also, besides Haxorus, kind of struggles against Waterfall Gyarados too. Like that Gyarados, even though it only had like 25% health, it dumpstered your Metagross. Like I was scared for a bit there, especially when he got to that second Aqua Tail. I was like, holy cow, this Gyarados. But yeah, if you're able to, I would do that if you know that they're scared of your lead Pokemon and you know their back Pokemon, or your back Pokemon has a good matchup too.
Yeah.
A lot of Mamoswine today.
I think I should chuck there first before I get to one. In case it's a Togekiss and all that energy is wasted. No, it's not.
What is he? Okay. Yeah, I agree though. Versus Mamoswine, if you can get it, like, try not to let them catch a move, but like, I would throw your move right away just because he is so hard countered by Togekiss, in case that is there.
I think he's got Metagross at the back.
Double shield.
Let's go.
I think so.
Yeah.
He might bait too, which is the other. Yeah. See, look.
He baited.
See, this is what I'm talking about. I'll talk about this after, so I don't distract you. But this is like the same thing as last game, except the other side. Oh my god.
I thought about kills.
Yeah, I can't believe it tanked that, actually.
Just go with Metagross here now. Let's get some energy advantage.
Yeah, you can try that. He might have a Sand Tomb, but you know he's not running Earthquake, so it's not... Okay, that was perfect, yeah. You read that situation better than I did.
It's tricky. Shadow Snorlax.
Yeah.
Should I switch out?
We'll see how much damage it does, I think. I have no idea how much it does to a Shadow Snorlax.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, you should have stayed in, right?
No, that's fine. He should have thrown a move, but...
On the Snorlax?
Yeah, onto your Hippo.
This girl found down.
I would shield this, I think. Or both are fine. I think you have this. Yeah. You're right. Your play was safer. My play was riskier.
Shield this one.
Yeah.
That's about superpower. No.
Well, he has to bait for the superpower, but he can't get to... Oh... Those licks actually deal a ton of damage. Shadow Snorlax. I keep forgetting a Shadow.
Okay, this is 4-0 this set. So make it 5.
Wow. Yeah, let's do it. Yeah, the reason I was saying shield is just... I was just doing... We're looking at the charge moves on both Pokemon. Avalanche hits for a ton, whereas Snorlax's charge moves don't really hurt that much. So I think with Hippo, you would... If you shielded that Avalanche, you'd be able to farm down and get an Earth Power off on the Snorlax, or they would have to throw all their energy, and then your Metagross should be fine. But your play ended up being a lot safer, right? Because you could farm down, and all you had to do was make that Meteor Mash.
My play seems a bit dangerous. I always like to make it hard for myself.
True. Oh yeah, so what I was talking about before was... what they failed to do was think about what you wanted, right? So this is the opposite of what happened in that last game. They tried to bait your Haxorus with Garchomp. Like, they have to think about what you want. You don't care if your Haxorus goes down because you have Hippo to farm down Garchomp afterwards, right? But they were baiting you thinking that they could get your shield and then take down Haxorus. You didn't care about your Haxorus, and then they wasted a ton of energy, right? And honestly, that might have ended up costing them the game because it ended up being closer than expected. It's a good lead.
So basically never shield.
Yeah, because you would never have shielded anything. It's not like you were calling a bait or anything. You were just not going to shield, right? And that happens a lot where you try and bait and the other person, it seems like they're calling your baits. It's just they don't care about their that specific Pokemon. They don't really care. And that's like a trap people can fall into. Yeah.
Shield and farm down here.
And just hope they don't have a Togekiss. What?
Double shield there, right?
Yeah, I would. What?
Ambitious. Yep. I switched him pretty quick.
Yeah, I don't understand how that guy... You've been doing this all day, and...
So he's not got Togekiss yet.
Yeah.
Double Steel Dragon at the back. Still got 2 shields.
Yeah, but he's going to burn one here, or he's going to have one Pokemon left. Okay, that's good.
I win this thing, right?
That was really good.
Is it worth the bait here? Because he has to shield surely, right?
I think it's not worth the bait.
Okay.
Because I think you can take him down regardless. So
I was going to lose this end when I went down 2 shields.
Yeah. See, that's I think a difference in our playstyles as well. I often go down 2 shields, but I'm usually running like fast move lineups.
Should I switch out at some point?
Nope, you're doing good. Unless did you get debuffed?
Not yet.
Okay, just watch the catch here. Just be careful.
Yeah.
I don't know if the switch timer's up yet, but hopefully that doesn't KO.
Shouldn't.
No, it shouldn't. Okay, CMP guaranteed that you are not going to get that caught by a Dragonite. There's a lot of charge moves thrown there, so I think the switch timer is up like right now.
Even if it's a Draco, I still survive.
Yeah, there's nothing Dragonite can do here. That'll KO. And I don't think any Dragonites are running Draco. Oh my god, okay, I just ate my words right there. Holy cow.
That was close.
I was like, yeah, I've never seen a Dragonite run Draco in Master Premier. Because like when you use it, I feel like you probably just use Outrage whenever instead, because you actually like have a chance of getting to it. Well, 5-0 set, nice to end off the night. Yeah, I guess, okay, what I was going to talk about there, I might have gone into Metagross instead of Hippowdon at the end, just because they had energy, and Dragonite's charge moves still deal quite a bit of damage to Hippowdon, whereas Metagross can tank them much easier. In hindsight, so like, when you made the play, it was still a fine play. In hindsight, it would have been a much easier game. Whoa. Congrats.
That's 100 points, yeah.
So this is similar to a match earlier in the night as well, I think, where I think they kind of really messed it up for you, or for themselves, where they swapped in to a losing matchup kind of deal. Because I think in that case, with only one shield, you really wanted your Hippowdon into Magnezone because you just win going straight Earth Power, and your Metagross I guess, can tank anything comfortably. Not that comfortably, I guess, from their Dragonite. So I think if you went into your Metagross, what would have happened is they would have done a lot of damage to you, probably thrown Draco and then swapped out, and then you could have followed into whatever with Hippo. But like I guess that's also power of hindsight looking back. I was just thinking because they had energy and Metagross tanks anything or resists every single charge move from Dragonite, that it's just an efficient use of catching their energy there.
Yeah.
And then even if they throw it, they'll likely switch or they'll get farmed down. Whatever they switch into, either your Metagross is better to handle it or your Hippo is better to handle it, and then you can swap in there. But overall, it's pretty good. I think we just had that one little bad set in the middle where a couple charge moves got caught on the enemy teams, and we learned that you can indeed bait the Magnezone at the beginning. For that extra shield, people really care about their Magnezones. I don't know why they're not swapping out of the Magnezone matchup, to be honest. Magnezone Hippo. Like, why not just swap there? It just seems like best case, you go down 2 shields and you win switch advantage. Worst case, you lose shield and switch advantage and then make it almost impossible to win the game. Fun. Yeah, no, that was fun.
Yeah, the next thing, get rid of those mistakes and then...
Yeah, I think... yeah, just because this was a newer team, I didn't want to focus on it too much, but I think like the fast move denial technique is something that maybe you should practice as well, especially for Master Premier. It's very useful with all the mirror matches, and I think
is Ice Fang 1 fast move?
It's 2. So I thought it was 1 for the longest time, and I even made a very embarrassing Reddit post about it, about how they changed it to being 2, and it was just 1 the whole time. It's just the animation's so flashy.
Yeah.
So when you swapped your Haxorus into that Metagross that one time and they got 2 meteor matches off,
Yeah.
I think that was because they probably snuck a fast move through, right? So if you were able to stop them from doing that, that would make the matchup more consistent. Unfortunately for Haxorus, because it's a boosting Pokemon, you kind of do generally want to get your Night Slash off as soon as possible. But I think in the case of Metagross, it might be worth it to delay it 1 fast move to try and stop their fast move from going through. But like, this is obviously much less of a big deal than like getting your matchups right and like knowing when to switch and stuff like that, which like you have pretty well down pat. Like I wouldn't even be suggesting fast move denial to you if I didn't think that you already had that stuff like ready to go. I think besides that, the biggest thing you can work on is maybe like think about your switches, because I know you're very switch averse a lot of the time, and especially if you have debuffs or something like that. I know it doesn't really apply to this team besides Hippo, but they're like if they swap and you're able to counter, it might be a good idea to do so. And if you want to do so, you usually want to do it right away. But like obviously that can't be blanket advice. That's always subject to change and stuff like that. But yeah, no, you didn't.
Because in my head I thought that Ice Fang was a lot of damage from Dragonite. By that time I was 2 stages down.
Yeah.
Attack.
Yeah. So you were like tickling him with Ice Fangs 2 times or double effectiveness. But yeah, just because you had because they were already down a shield, right? If I remember correctly. I think because you had earth powered. So the 2-to-1 shields Metagross versus Dragonite is like really dominant for Metagross, I think. So just because you had that matchup, I think that it would have been worthwhile to swap in. Also because the only Pokemon that Magnezone really deals with on your team well is Metagross. So if you get it really softened up, then it doesn't really matter if the Magnezone is around and throwing wild charges and stuff like that. You'll have taken out their Dragonite, maybe even gotten their last shield. You'll have both shields, and both of your Pokemon are good against Magnezone. So then, really, it's 2 of your Pokemon, well, 1.5 because Hippowdon is probably heavily damaged. So 1.5 of your Pokemon with 2 shields against whatever their last Pokemon is. And I think unless it's a Togekiss, then you're probably fine, because I think Togekiss is the only thing that would beat you at that point. And you'd have switch advantage too, right? Because they would have swapped, you would have beaten their Dragonite. And actually, no, even if there's a Togekiss, like your Metagross is still alive too. So just following them up on that, even if they swap into like a favorable matchup, sometimes it might be better to follow them. I think in case, like, I'm going to say exactly the opposite of what I just said. But if you're not debuffed and they swap in something like a Dragonite, obviously stay in. The value of beating the Pokemon that comes in, like if they try and safe swap and your lead Pokemon beats it, that value is huge, because you beat that Pokemon and you have full knowledge of their team, right? Because they're not going to bring back in the first Pokemon. If they swapped out of it, why would they bring it back in? So once I have identified both of the remaining Pokemon, even if you're down shields, you know exactly how you want to play this game. Like, you know if you have a win condition, and if you have that win condition, what it is. Like in the last game, you knew your win condition. You just had to hit an Earth Power on the Magnezone, and because you played this Magnezone Hippowdon matchup like 4 times today, you knew you could make it without having to bait. So because of that, like, you've identified your win condition, and once you like identified a win condition, it's like all you have to do is like go through the motions. So there's that value there too. But yeah, I think also, well, I do this too, so me giving advice to you on this is like a bit hypocritical, but watch the sacrificial swaps are back. I always get I can't stop tapping my screen. I over tap so much, and
it's hard not to. Yeah,
I know. Like you do the whole battle, and then for that little bit to just wait a second is just so hard. But yeah,
it's hard when you got the Metagross mirror and you want to try and get the Earthquake first. So you have to tap it straight away.
Yeah, that's true, and those are the perfect times to sacrificial swap too. Like that's what that Metagross got you that one time. Like that one wasn't even your bad, in my opinion. Like, because we didn't know how much energy their Metagross had. Yeah. He might have been just right behind you, right? So, and actually he probably was, because he ended up coming back into the matchup with a ton of energy. But like, those are the perfect times.
I swapped the Hippo from the Earthquake from Garchomp. That was luck. I wasn't even counting. I just did it.
Well, yeah, you can't even count for Earthquake because we didn't know it was Earthquake, right? So he I guess it would have been almost 2 Sand Tombs, but yeah, that was a good swap too, and he's probably kicking himself that he didn't like wait that 1 second, right?
But I don't count, but I've got that time feeling of when it should be.
Yeah, that's usually what I do too. Especially in Ultra and Master Premier. I think that's why I don't do as well as in Great League. I don't really count most of the time because I don't focus as much as in Great League. In Great League, I count the moves, so I know what's going on in the match. But especially in Ultra, I don't count at all in Ultra. In Master Premier, there's not as many Pokemon, so it's easier to remember. But counting moves it's incredibly important if you're trying to push that rank 10 in like a certain league. But obviously it's much more stressful, right? Like you can't just relax for a little bit. Like, especially if I'm talking to you, like if I'm coaching you, you're paying attention to me sometimes too, right? So it's hard to count and do that.
Yeah.
And it's hard for me to give advice and count at the same time as well. So it's something that turns the game from being like a bit less of a game to like full attention, I guess. That's what I'm trying to say. But yeah, awesome. That was fun. I should stop recording now, I guess.
Well, I went into Haxorus.
Yeah, I saw the Haxorus swap into Machamp, and then you just said, I'm going to let it through with the cross chop, and everything dropped.
Yeah, then I found out with Metagross, he brought his Metagross in. And I went straight to Earthquake instead of a bait.
He let it through?
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. Sounds good. You even left up the windscreen, so I had to believe you, Well, good first showing for the Hippo, even though I didn't get to see the power of it, but
it didn't actually do much.
Yeah, that's what I figured from what you're saying. It was mostly the Metagross and the Haxorus chunks. Holy cow! Even like bringing it into the Mamoswine, I feel like it beats Mamoswine in even shields. Just so much damage.
Yes, it's good. Maybe he's Metagross at the back. Archon. He needs to put shield there. Get farmed down instead.
Nice.
I thought I was going to farm down, to be honest.
I was pretty ballsy at the end there, but I like it. So at the beginning, when you let that ancient power through, were you counting the charms, or was that just?
I think that was more luck.
Yeah, that's weird that he didn't throw like a flamethrower or something.
Did you count the charms?
Yeah, because I remember, because I was leading Togekiss too when I saw the hippo, and I remember beating it in the one shield. Or sorry, like I didn't shield and they had to shield, so I still lost the match, but they were forced to shield. And I was like, wait, how does Hippo with Ice Fang like not even really beat Togekiss? It's so weird. But...
yeah, well, I was thinking if it dies, just come in with Metagross.
Yeah, and just farm it down.
Yeah. Well, maybe I should count next time. For sure.
Yeah, I wasn't counting either. I wasn't really paying. I was more paying attention to just matchups and stuff like that.
Is 8 charms to Nation Power and 10 to Flamethrower?
I think it's 9. Wait.
If he stays in, we'll count.
Yeah, we'll count. I'll look this up for you and not tell you during this game, but...
Nice switch. Nice switch. Okay, waterfall. I think he's got Outrage. I'll let it go.
Oh.
He's definitely got 10 here.
Yeah.
No. Are we going to 2-1 shield there?
I don't think so, no. But you might as well give it a shot.
Then at least any 3-meter matches.
Like, if you can shield like an Outrage or a Hurricane, then I think you can win. But if he's smart, he's just going to throw Dragon Claws.
Yeah, I can't get to 2 here.
Yeah.
Should have won that really because of the lead.
Yeah, that was a bit unfortunate.
I think the last... Maybe I should have went with the Metagross and Gyros.
Yeah, I was thinking that too, just because it's the easier farm down, and then what you can do is, in that case, like if you go in with the Metagross, you know there's a Togekiss there, and you know that's farmable. So because you know that the Togekiss is there, if you bring in the Metagross, and let's say they have a counter to your Metagross. In this case, they had Dragonite, which is not really a counter, but whatever. So you come in with that Metagross, and your plan is to swap into the other Pokemon, in this case, your Hippo, to bait out their Togekiss again, and then your Metagross can farm down that Togekiss and take energy into that matchup, and then flip a counter, maybe.
Yeah, I definitely lost it.
Yeah, but this is like just learning a new team, right? So just getting all the matchups. I have no idea what Hippo's matchups are. Also, since we seem to be seeing a lot of Togekiss, I'm just going to say this now, but do you win if you don't throw the Body Slam? Because I think it might be worth it to just...
when they throw Charge Move, I think that's when I lose. I can't farm down all the way.
Yeah, because I was wondering if you could farm down all the way if you just spend a shield and then have like an Earth Power or something, if that's worth it. I'm not sure. But I'll let you play this match and then we can figure that out later.
Let's go. Next switch. Ooh. I just shield found down here. Shielded.
Wow.
Do you reckon double steal at the back?
I think so, if they're going to double shield the Dragonite.
I think coming the Hippo here. That was Charge Move.
I just gotta hope you're right, and you are. So yeah, that was a good read. I think at the end there, it didn't really matter who you swapped in. You're gonna win that anyways. But this was the much like safer play, just in case like they nailed every bait and like you called every bait wrong or something like that. Yeah, we probably should have even realized it was double steal earlier. But in hindsight, the farm down play on Haxorus was really, really good. because you were able to pressure both shields off the Dragon Knight, and they couldn't swap into your Haxorus with Magnezone, right?
You just can't. When the double shield, you know that Magnezone on back.
Yeah. Man, Haxorus does work. No. I don't even know if Hippo's really doing anything, but holy, Haxorus is strong.
Just wait till you see the boost.
Oh yeah, that's right. Night Slash, holy cow.
Yeah, I think it's in the stream once where you got the Night Slash boost twice. It was like 80%.
Holy cow, yeah, double Night Slash boost, that's like you're doing more than double damage. Okay, yeah, so I'll just see how this is going, and then... Oh, immediate swap.
I think I can shield the farm down here if he doesn't shield.
I don't know if you take damage, that might be fine too, because Togekiss is just going to come in and farm you down as well.
I don't think I survive, do I?
Oh, you don't survive? I have no idea what the matchup is, so...
I don't think I survive.
Oh yeah, you definitely wouldn't after all these bullet punches, so...
Togekiss. That's a loss. We Dragonite again.
Oh! Oh!
A Rexen. I shield it. Okay, it's an outrage, right?
Yeah, it depends if you... It's really like a bait call at that point, right? So it's tough for me to say like if the shield is a good idea.
Well, if he outrages me again, it should be quite low for Metagross to farm down.
Mm-hmm.
He's nearly dead it. And then... Yeah, I should be able to... I can kill the Togekiss, right? Just straight bullet punch.
Well, you won't have to. Okay, I will say in this situation, I would have probably swapped in the Metagross as soon as Togekiss farmed down the Haxorus.
Right.
We got lucky because they ended up swapping the Garchomp into the Hippo anyways.
Right.
So it worked out fine. And then at the end there, I might have considered trying a sack swap onto your Metagross, or once he built up enough for just about an outrage. You don't even have to catch it. You can just catch Sand Tombs or something like that too. That's fine. But at that point, your Hippo is also healthy enough to finish off the Togekiss too. So then you can save your shield just in case. So that's just like another thing. Like you had the game anyways, but that would be if the game was closer, then you might consider that play. But otherwise, it was played very well.
Yeah, if I went into Metagross, then I'd enough energy for Garchomp as well, so then it won't be locked in.
Yeah. Yeah, so if you go with the Metagross, then they will swap their Togekiss to the Garchomp right away, and then you have the Hippo, and then there's no like swap plays or anything that can happen.
Yeah, that makes sense, yeah.
It's just a straight... Like, we didn't know it was going to be a Garchomp. Like, I think we both had a pretty good idea that it was going to be a Dragon type, because it seems like that's the thing. If you see Togekiss, Metagross, like, what's it going to be? What, Dragonite, Haxorus, Garchomp, I feel like? And Hippo seems to do... Well, Hippo does pretty well against all of them. But either way, 4-1 set, you're killing it.
That should be 5-0.
Yeah, that's right, because that one game was
Both
was
asleep as
winnable, I
well.
think, yeah. What was that outrage call? You knew it was an outrage too. Oh. Yeah, I think that Caleb Peng stream earlier probably set off a lot of people starting to put outrage on the waterfall Gyarados. I would not be
Yeah,
surprised if
yeah.
you see more of them. It makes a lot of sense
Right.
too. So, oh, interesting.
This is good.
Is this the slowest matchup in all of Master Premier? Wow.
Okay. Number one brains in there, I think just go straight to F power. Actually would.
Yeah, just guarantee it. A failed bait is much more costly than a shielded move.
Mm. I think they've got Togekiss at the back then.
Maybe. I'm not sure why they're not switching. I think Double Dragon, maybe.
Oh, pressed it.
Can't believe he counted that.
Maybe we should put Metagross there.
Oh, probably.
Yeah, sure.
Oh. What? Okay.
That's wrong, maybe.
Oh.
Okay. His Magneton's pretty healthy, isn't it?
Yeah.
I don't know what he's doing there.
It's all good. You try to catch. Sometimes it fails.
You can go back to that wild charge here. You can go last now, can't I?
It'll be close. Oh.
I don't think I can farm down here. We might get to another one. No.
Close.
I feel like I should have won that.
Yeah, I'm not really sure where that one went wrong. I think I would have swapped to the meta instead, but then it ended up being the right play. Because I just thought it was... I was so sure it was a Dragonite Garchomp in the back. And then it was Dragonite Togekiss. Which is fair. Yeah, I don't know how that one goes differently. I think you played the beginning right for sure.
I think you caught him off guard as well when he switched to Dragonite.
Oh yeah, that's right. Catching the Earth Power was big. I think, yeah, that ended up being huge because if he had lost a shield there, you would have won the game, right?
Yeah.
So I guess good play by your opponent. It's tough to deal with that there. I think you played the lead well. I didn't realize. Well, I feel like if I'm a Magnezone player, I would just charge up to like max, or to when you get an Earth Power and then swap. That's what I would do, because your fast moves don't do anything. Their fast moves don't do anything. You might as well get a ton of energy out of it and then bring wild charges later. But
it made sense because you had 2 week to ice at the back.
Yeah.
To stay. I should win CMP here.
Yeah, what are the IVs on your Hippo?
100.
Okay. So in a mirror, I would, like, I don't know if you're comfortable with the fast move denial thing yet, but that can win mirror matches. I don't know what he's charged up to. Yeah. I wouldn't do it. Yeah, just go for the CMP win. Nice.
I should have the first one.
I would.
Do you think he's got the same team?
He might. So the thing with Metagross is if you both spend 2 shields, all you need is a Meteor Mash to KO.
Actually, the next one. I'm going to call bait.
I think that's fine too.
Probably it's all the case.
Hopefully it's the mirror.
Oh shit.
Ooh.
Double steal?
I would, yeah. I don't know why I shielded.
Haxorus. Oh, I think I've lost it, haven't I?
You have 1 chance.
Attack swap.
Yeah.
Oh,
nope, you don't need to. Holy cow. Oh.
Same team, yeah. That's interesting.
Yeah, I did not expect to see a mirror today, let me tell you that. Okay, just a couple.
I think I won that because I won the lead.
I don't even know. I think it's because honestly, I think that was a big deal, and then also I think they made a pretty big misplay. So in that Haxorus versus Metagross situation, I would have just farmed all the way down if you thought you could, like shield and then farm down. Once we thought there was a Haxorus in the back,
yeah.
Because then as you saw, like just 1 Dragon Claw is enough to take it out. His mistake, I think, was shielding the Night Slash. Once he shielded that, then he should have just let his Metagross go down or take the damage. Once he takes the damage, swap into Haxorus, and then try and beat you to that Dragon Claw. And he has a shield now too then at that point.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was well played. I think letting that Earthquake through was the right choice, even if you were technically trying to let through a Meteor Mash. Just because
I think I knew we had the same team.
Yeah, being able to farm down is good there. Honestly, in hindsight, yeah, I would throw a Meteor Mash for sure, like the first Meteor Mash, and then I would probably let whatever through the second time, just because you can then farm down with the Haxorus, if you think it's a mirror again.
Yeah.
But no, that was good. That bait call on the Earth Power was pretty game winning. Another Magnet Zone lead.
I'd like to stay in. Maybe it's worth the bait then.
Yeah, it could be. Problem is if they call the bait, but
unless it's hard to tell unless they want to get rid of it.
Yeah, we'll see what they do here. Man, they're getting the attack drops on you like every time. Or every match. You can consider switching here to clear the attack debuff as well.
Trying to stay again. Calm down with Metagross now. Might be Togekiss at the back, right?
Yeah, could be.
Okay, switch. Let's beat out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Magnezone it's got decent energy as well.
Yeah, it is quite a bit.
This might be tricky.
This will be very, very tricky.
I think Magnezone still wins this one shield.
I think at this HP, yeah. But that you kind of had to play it like that.
Yeah, that's no point.
Yeah, this is...
Well, Magnezone lead again, caught me off guard. I should have switched out.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the play there is like once your Hippowdon is debuffed and they swap, that gives you like a get out of jail free card, and you should swap right away too. I would probably just following that Dragonite with your Metagross. Like unfortunately that leaves the Togekiss kind of unchecked, but you do have the Haxorus for the Magnezone, and then your Hippowdon still does okay versus the Togekiss at the end too. As long as you have your shields going. But yeah, I would definitely save, like, especially your body slams. I would definitely have saved those because you could have thrown them undebuffed against the Togekiss or anything else instead, right?
No, but it's matchup before.
I have never seen this either. Hippowdon and Snorlax leads are both very not common. I think.
What's the worst? What's the worst it could do to me? Eh?
Wow, they actually shield their Snorlax. I feel like a superpower or something is coming. Outrage, I don't even think is really better than just body slam spam in terms of damage. Like, there's no...
Switch. Oh.
Wow, slow switch by them.
He's already wasted shield as well. So that means no Togekiss.
Yeah. Unless he's really mind gaming you.
Is it worth a shield there and go for another one?
It could be. Yeah, you can keep switch this way, but I guess it's not too important to keep switch.
And smart. Probably another body snap. Ooh.
It could be superpower, but nope.
Well, that's quick.
Holy cow. This guy had a lot of energy, I guess.
Wow.
Oh, okay. It wasn't... What?
I think he can lick me down here.
I think so too.
Oh, damn.
Ah, so close. Yeah, I think that might have been my bad, saying to shield versus the Dragonite, because could have easily farmed down the Dragonite instead and just let that through and save the shield. I guess it didn't matter too much because they don't really have that much shield pressure on that team. But yeah, that Snorlax lead is kind of annoying because I think it beats Hippowdon and it beats Metagross, so you don't really want to be swapping your Haxorus into it, but you kind of have to.
Yeah. So you did have Togekiss back.
Yeah, that was like, I don't understand why he didn't swap the Togekiss in though, like into your Haxorus. Yeah, he wins if you don't body slam, I guess. Interesting.
I was going to risk definition power.
I think it was only 8. So that was a good play.
I'm trying that.
Interesting. I think that's fine.
Metagross.
I would agree. Nice. He didn't throw his energy, so you know he's kind of got a shield here.
I might shield it as well. Dragon's baiting.
It's a tough call. You might have to end up shielding a Dragonclaw anyways. But yeah, he's baiting you.
After this, I switch. Ooh, didn't you? I think I should the first one. No. We shouldn't Dragonclaw there.
What? Oh, I thought he was fainted.
Dragonclaw's got energy, hasn't it?
I think so, yeah. But I think he's trying to just farm you down here.
Makes sense. You should have 2.
Yeah, you should. But the question is it going to be enough? This is going to be very close. It's best buddy Dragonite too, so.
I think I got this.
Yeah. Okay, the one thing I would have considered in that game is either if you were planning on throwing a Night Slash on Swampert, I would have swapped right away from Metagross as soon as Swampert came in. And save that just thinking about like the value of your charge moves there, right? Like Meteor Mash is not very effective against Swampert. And Night Slash is even effectiveness, but the Dragon Claws are super effective against Dragonite and they're must shields. So I think once you did throw the Meteor Mash, I think that's also a fine play. But then I think once you do that and then they tank it, I think you want to spend or like try and farm down that Swampert. Like try and catch one Hydro Cannon and then bring 2 Dragon Claws and a shield into the Dragonite matchup and it's over. This obviously worked out too, but it was very very dicey near the end.
Yeah, I was hoping to catch a shield of on Swampert. But yeah, but like you said, it's resisted. Yeah. So they wouldn't shield at that point.
Yeah, it's hard to tell with Swamperts nowadays too, right? If they're running Earthquake or Sludge Wave. I feel like most of them are running Sludge Wave nowadays. And Sludge Wave does not hit nearly as hard on hacks at least. So another Togekiss. Man, Togekiss leads are running over everything now. It's like it's just people who want to win lead, I think. What?
I stay in this, right?
I would.
It's going to be an outrage, isn't it?
It could be, or a bait. Does an outrage KO you, though?
I think so. We'll see. Oh, Santa.
It's a bait. Yeah, so generally, I'll say this since you're just farming down anyways and probably don't have to think too much for a while. But generally, against Garchomps, you want to let if you can live it, you want to let the first one through because it's higher value. I would shield this, though. Because I think he only one-shots you with a debuff, right? So his only play to win the one shield is to bait and then to outrage, right? But if he outrages first, then it's not going to KO, and then he has to have the Sand Tomb later. So generally against Pokemon that can debuff at all, you want to not shield the first one. And then it forces them to take the lower value option.
He's got Swampert now, which is...
No shields either. What? What did he shield? Body slams?
Shield, on the Garchomp. Maybe she went for the Earth Power there.
Oh no, I think that was a good play, what you did, because you were just like you never know when he's gonna throw energy. Although I'll talk about something after as well. But
Ooh.
Hurts, but that was a good swap. That was very fast and necessary. Although not necessary, but
yeah, so he was definitely just switched straight away.
Yeah. Like I think he could have still pulled out the win, but like even if your hacks had gone down, but
why did you bring in Garchomp against?
I don't know. Well, I think he was hoping that you'd switch out, right? Like this guy is running. Wait. Oh, he's running double ground team. Actually, that's the same team Appleseeds in my Discord is running. I think the Togekiss. Garchomp Swampert. Usually you safe swap the Swampert, right? But against Hippowdon, the only thing that beats it is the Swampert, right? So he's switching in his less bad swap there. I think that makes sense as a play from him. but you played that well, and you knew that because they had a Togekiss, as long as you keep switch advantage, you'll win, probably. Like, unless they have something crazy in the back that beats both your Metagross and Haxorus, but I'm not really sure what beats both Metagross and Haxorus, like, that badly. One thing I will say is...
We called the bait as well.
Yeah, that's true. Which really helped. And then as far as, like... you mentioned going for an Earth... You can queue up, too, while I'm talking. This isn't really that major. As far as going for the Earth Power that you mentioned, I think that could have been a good strat, too. Not because I think you would have made it to the Earth Power, but it forces the Swampert to kind of throw its energy earlier. It sees you storing up all this energy, and then...
This I normally stay and chuck the Earth Power and switch. Oh, made the wrong switch.
Oh, it's Dragon.
Let this go. I just found down with Metagross now.
I think that's a good call.
That crunch. Big crunch. It's tricky. I've got an Earth Power and Hippo.
Uh-oh. Are you still there? I think the internet went out again. I think the internet went out again. For now. Because it probably buffers a little bit.